There's a quiet kind of discomfort that doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't crash into your life. It doesn't break things apart. In fact, on the surface, everything looks fine. You're functioning, you're showing up, you're doing what needs to be done. From the outside, your life might even look good. And yet, there's something underneath it all that feels off. Not broken, not chaotic, just misaligned. A subtle dissonance, a quiet whisper that says, this isn't quite it. And the hardest part, you can't always explain why. Segment 1, the invisible disconnection. This feeling is one of the most misunderstood experiences of being human because we've been taught to look for problems outside of ourselves. If something feels off, something must be wrong. But what if nothing is wrong? What if what you're feeling isn't dysfunction, but disconnection? Not from life, but from yourself. Because here's the truth most people aren't taught. You can build a life that works without building a life that fits. And when that happens, there's a gap. A space between who you are and how you're living. And that space, that's what you're feeling. Segment 2, the cost of looking fine. Most people spend years, even decades, perfecting the appearance of life that makes sense. Responsible choices, logical decisions, paths that are accepted, validated, even praised. And slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to trade alignment for approval, clarity for comfort, truth for stability. And again, nothing looks broken, but something inside starts to drift. Because the soul doesn't measure life by appearance, it measures life by resonance. And when you're out of resonance, you don't always fall apart. You just feel off. Section 3, the subtle signals. This feeling shows up in ways that are easy to dismiss. A lack of excitement even when things are going well. A quiet restlessness that doesn't have a clear cause. Moments where you pause and think, is this really it? Not in a dramatic way, just honestly. It can feel like you're slightly out of sync with your own life. Like you're playing a role that you've gotten very good at, but no longer fully feel. And because nothing is wrong, you might ignore it. Push it aside. Tell yourself you should be grateful. And yes, gratitude matters. But gratitude is not meant to silence truth. Segment 4, the deeper truth. Let's go deeper, because this moment, this feeling, is not a problem. It's an invitation. An invitation to ask, where have I drifted from myself? Where am I performing instead of living? Where am I honoring expectations instead of honoring truth? And here's the part that requires courage. Sometimes life feels off because you've outgrown the version of life you're currently living. Not because it's bad, but because you've expanded, and expansion creates tension. Not because something is wrong, but because something is ready to evolve. Segment 5, the fear beneath the feeling. Now here's what often sits underneath all of this, fear. Because if you acknowledge that something feels off, you may also have to acknowledge that something needs to change. And change, even when it's aligned, can feel destabilizing. So instead, many people choose familiarity over truth. They stay in what works, even if it doesn't feel right. But the feeling doesn't go away. It lingers, softly, persistently, patiently, waiting for you to listen. Segment 6, returning to alignment. So what do you do with this feeling? You don't panic, you don't force answers, and you don't assume your life is broken. Instead, you begin to listen, gently, honestly, without judgment. You ask yourself, what feels true for me right now? What no longer feels aligned? Where am I holding on to something that I've already outgrown? And most importantly, what would it look like to begin moving back towards myself? Not in a dramatic leap, but in small, honest shifts. Because alignment isn't something you find overnight. It's something you return to moment by moment. Segment 7, the reframe. So if life feels off right now, even though everything looks fine, consider this. Maybe nothing is wrong with your life. Maybe you're just becoming more aware of what's true. And awareness is the beginning of transformation, not the end. This isn't a sign that you failed. It's a sign that you're waking up. So tonight or this morning or wherever you are in this moment, instead of trying to fix the feeling, sit with it. Listen to it. Let it speak, because beneath the quiet sense that something is off, there may be something even more powerful waiting for you. Clarity, truth, and the next version of your life calling you forward. And if there's something in this episode that resonated with you, if you've been sitting with this quiet feeling that something just isn't quite aligned, I want to offer you a place to begin. Not a place filled with answers, but a place that helps you explore the question more honestly. My book is called Life, What's the Point? It was written for this exact moment. Not when life is falling apart, but when everything looks fine and something inside still feels off. Inside, I walk you through the deeper questions most people avoid. The ones that help you reconnect with what's real, what's true, and what actually matters to you. If you're ready to explore that, you could begin here. Look for Life, What's the Point on Amazon.com. Just start with the first few pages. That's all you need.